Hello people, what is up folks? Last but not least, we are going to check out the fire slash intelligence Osamoda. And let me tell you something guys. I did kind of mess around with it just a little bit. And if I were to describe this build, this is supposed to be like the support mid-range kind of build again. I would describe it as if you want an any from Temu, play the intelligence Osa. It might sound like a little bit of hate, but you'll see there's nothing really interesting going on with this build. It's very lackluster. It's very boring. And you'll see as I go through the spells. So gear wise, I'm not using anything fancy. Age-old set mixed with Ghostly Spectral Bandit. It's just some random intelligence stuff. Damage output, I mean, it's not bad, right? I think more or less all these OSA builds are doing more around the same amount of damage. But this OSA is definitely built around more the support to support your allies and your summons. If we look at Ghostly Claw, this used to be a stealing move, so you had a little bit of sustain. That is no longer the case. Now it's just a direct damage attack. So it more or less works the same way it used to. Here, let me see if I could crit its chafer out. The big difference here is, again, you gotta lean more into that supportive role, kind of like an any. If you use Ghostly Claw on an ally, it's just gonna heal him. So nothing fancy going on there. Let me see, can I whack you? Yeah, I killed it. Next up, we do have Burning Breath, and this is very similar to like Piercing Word, except it doesn't heal. Like any from Temu. That's what this is. It's got similar AoE to Piercing Word. The weird thing about this, and I don't know if it's a bug or a glitch, is that you can use it up to 3 times a turn. Which is kind of weird because I know they made this whole initiative where you can only use spells twice per target to encourage more versatility with your toolbox. But yeah, if you want to, you could drain your full 12 AP. You could sink your 12 AP into Burning Breath. You know, you're gonna get like 1500. Give or take out of it. Right, depending if you crit or not, you're going to be averaging 500 a hit around there. That is Burning Breath. And then we have Substitution. Burning Breath is a brand new spell. Substitution it used to be available within the old Osamodas. More or less works the same here. Except you can switch positions with your enemies now. Before it was just with your summons and allies, I believe. And it would heal too, and no longer heals. Just a vanilla switch attack. And there you go, 400 damage. It's got a significant cooldown too. So you do have to be mindful when using this. Definitely, you got to use this sparingly. I mean, you don't have any choice, but you know, if you're cornered or you're locked out, right? Of course, you could always do the summon. Here, let me pass my turn. Right, you're locked. You're kind of pinned. So you could always switch. It will kill the summon. It will kill the summon, and you can just run away. If you use it on a character ally, it will heal him. I can't show that off here because I just have one character. But it does say it heals if you do that. Makes the caster and the target switch positions, inflicts fire damage on enemies, or heals allied players, specifically allied players. Kills the target if it is one of the caster's class summons. So this works fine with, let's see if we can reset that cooldown. Do I have this on level 6? Level 1. You know what? Let me get out of here really quick. Let me get that to level 6. Just so we have a nice punching back there. Can we get a crit? Okay, so say it doesn't heal, so I can't turn that off. Okay, so yeah, so other summons, you can just switch positions, it's not going to kill them. And that is it. That is it when it comes to intelligence spells. Pretty standard, you know, 3 elemental spells per branch. Next up, let's check out the summons. The intelligence path does retain its own summons, which is going to be the koala and the dragon. So this is a new update they did with the most recent maintenance update here. You are no longer locked out of this. I don't know if they're going to keep it that way. But it definitely it does change your gameplay a lot if you can summon, you know, 2 things per turn. So that is new here. I don't know if that's going to stay when the update goes live or not. But going back to the koala, same thing. You know, if you're familiar with koala before, pretty much does the same thing. Koala's curse, fire damage. Let me pass my turn. And then we have healing bandage. Sacrifices HP to heal an ally. Oh, sorry. So let's do this. 320. And then let's heal that Schaefer there. There you go. About 350-ish. Not bad. And then lastly, of course, you do have Koala's Kiss. And that's let's see if I can whack this guy again. Don't crit, don't crit. Alright, there you go. Okay, so if I put the target under the Koala Kiss, and then if I attack, it's gonna transfer some of that attack to healing. Just a little bit of healing, nothing too crazy. And then of course, you could do it to multiple targets. If I move here, let's move over here. If I put the Osa on Call a Kiss, now if I attack, now it's gonna heal 2 targets because two guys have that state. Pretty straightforward. So that is the koala. Next up, we do have the dragon. Dragon is going to be very familiar to those who already play the Intelligence Osa before. More or less does the same thing. Persistent Flame deals damage, unhealable state, which is a very good thing to have there to put targets into unhealable. We do have just a direct damage, Dragofire. And lastly, the big change here with the dragon is it no longer unbewitches. That ability or that trait was put onto the frog for the chance build. Now it reduces damage output by 10%, which gives you a little bit of bulk, especially with when it comes to your summons. So here, I'll show that off here. Okay, so the damage preview for the dagger on the Chafer caps out at 391. So if I use this spell on myself in this instance, so it's going from 391 to 351. So just damage reduction there. Nothing too crazy, but again, this build is more focused about you supporting your allies and your summons. there. This also has like no sustain at all, so you're not gonna be gaining HP, no shields or anything like that. Uh, Annie from Timu. Annie from Timu. So that is a dragon there. Of course, next up we do have the animal form, which is going to be the draconic form, I believe it's called. So let's go ahead and sacrifice the koala. And upon sacrificing this, you are going to get locked out of those special abilities, which I think is going to be the sacrifice spell on the koala, the HP sacrifice, and then I forgot what spell on the dragon. The unhealable. So transforming does impact the intelligence also a little bit more, just because putting enemies or bosses or monsters in the unhealable state is very good. It's very good. So you definitely have to be conscious of like when to have that ability on and then off. In the draconic state, of course, you're gonna get perks for your fire spells. For Ghostly Claw, it's gonna have an AoE to it. Actually, this is gonna be perfect. So in that AoE, of course, enemies are gonna get damage and allies are gonna get healed. You get a little cross here. See the damage preview. Attack and heal. You get a nice 2-for-1 there, which is very any attribute, that 2-for-1. Next up, we do have Burning Breath. In the dragon form, the spell's area of effect is larger. It becomes a square. Super cool. It's got AoE there. So, some incentive to be into to turn yourself into a dragon, right? To have access to that AoE stuff. And lastly, substitution. So remember how substitution switched and killed? Now it doesn't. So if I switch with my dragon, it's going to keep it alive. So that's the perk you're getting out of the draconic state. And lastly, we do have a support spell that's innately associated with the fire path or the challenges path. And that's going to be Bestial Heal. This is a little wacky. I don't know if it's glitchy or buggy. So if I use the spell, let me position myself here. Okay, so say I want to hear the chafer. I can't, right? There's an obstacle in the way. But if I go into the draconic state, okay, and then I try to do Bestial Heal. Now I could target him through an obstacle. That's the only perk you get. You gain you lose line of sight. Right, so you can just cast it anywhere, anytime. The effect is kind of funky. I don't think getting 5% vitality and healing 3%, it's very impactful. That might change, hopefully, but this, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. It just looks so useless, this spell. Right? It just looks so, like, insignificant. Let me see if I get another... Come on, can I get a crit? I got a crit. Because even if I use it on... Okay, so if I use it on the Bestial Heal on the foot champion... Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Lastly, if you fully power up one of your summons, I'll show that off here, just so you can see like the damage output. Oop, he's animal form, my bad. Fangs, AP, give him some MP. Can run around. Of course, I'm locked out of my persistent flame. So I could go almost 700 damage there on a crit. 600. Like 1200 damage out of it? Yeah, because Terrifying Cry doesn't hit. $600. 600, 1200. So you're getting close to 2000 damage if you fully buff your dragon. Which again, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. As long as you protect it, keep it alive. Because say you do 2000 damage to it and then, you know, you stack up your own 2500, almost 3k, and then you go... something like this, right? Transpose. You guys get the idea. The damage output is definitely there for the Osas. Like, they're definitely not slouching or anything like that. They're definitely not lacking when it comes to damage. But just the overall feel and how they play, it just feels so... Specifically, this build, it just feels so boring. So boring. If it were up to me, I definitely wouldn't recommend this build to people. I mean, the only redeeming factor is like the dragon stuff, right? But even like the spell animations, and like it might be just because this is beta. I just don't feel very impactful, specifically like this burning breath. It's just like the timing is off on it. I don't know, maybe I'm just nitpicking at it. And of course, we do have Whip, which I think is so buggy. So if you are in the Draconic form, it's supposed to add power. Let me see, let's test this out. So I tried to get it to work and it wasn't doing much of anything. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just pass here. Pass one more time. We're almost done, folks. We're almost done. Okay, so if I go into dragon form. Okay, and if I whip my dragon, it's supposed to give me power. Anything within that AoE. Which is not doing. But that's the idea there. It definitely feels like a build where you want to be playing within the dragon mode on, or the dragon form, just because you get a lot of benefits to it, right? You get exactly. Oh, I did heal myself. All right, so those does have a little bit of healing. And that's if you are in dragon mode and you use Ghostly Claw in close combat, right? Which is kind of like the what you don't want to be doing because you don't have a whole lot of sustain, right? They do describe this build as a support mid, so you similar to the chance path. You know, you kind of want to play it far away. Can I use this here and heal? No, you need to hit something. Yeah, because it definitely has a range, right? If you're throwing out spells, you're going to be hitting stuff at a distance. And again, you definitely want to be like more in the back row, especially if you do want to play more of that support row, right? You want to be in the back, kind of just healing people, throwing out your Ghostly Claw. So you get that 2-for-1 there, where you're healing and attacking. You do the switch thing, heal there, right? But you know, I mean, it's definitely functional. It does what it sets out to do. It's just, personally, I just find it boring. Just, but if you guys think this is cool, let me know. Let me know in a comment. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. But that is it, folks. that is it. If in case you missed it, I do have videos on the Chance Water OSA and then the Agility Air OSA too. All three have been covered at this point. So thank you for checking out the videos. I know these are a little bit rough. I kind of do them as I go. So I'm kind of learning this stuff as I'm making the video. You're not going in blind. But I hope you guys enjoyed them. And until next time, this has been Challenge EX. Take care of yourself and peace.